ABC Kinderteach presents Corduroy, written by Don Freeman. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. That must be Corduroy. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. This must be Corduroy right there. And this is what green overalls might look like. Then one morning a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said. "Look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed, which means like, "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps," right there. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. He does look sad there. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Well, do you think the button's going to be there after all this time? I bet it probably was vacuumed up maybe weeks ago. Who knows? Suddenly he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident he had stepped onto an escalator and up he went. "Could this be a mountain?" he wondered. "I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain." "Oh, Corduroy, that's not a mountain. That's just a moving stairs." He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas or couches and rows of beds. This must be a palace. And a palace really might look like this. Corduroy gasped, which means like, "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." He thinks the store is a palace. He wandered around admiring, or seeing how nice things were, the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. If you look at mattresses, sometimes they have these little buttons to kind of hold the mattress together. He yanked, which means he pulled hard, and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled or fell down. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The Night Watchman was going his rounds, which means he was walking around the store checking things out. On the floor above, when he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator, which means running fast. "No! Who in the world did that?" he exclaimed, which said excitedly, "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under and over sofas or couches until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. So Corduroy must have hid there but forgot to cover up his ears. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy, this is what tucking looks like, under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put it in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs, which means she climbed a set of stairs and was on a floor, then she climbed another set of stairs, is on another floor, etc., into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous or very big palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be much more comfortable, or feel better, with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug.